It's
It's showing
stress,
you guys as
man.
well, I think. Should be showing you guys. Don't know why it's not.
Let me just pull it up on
Can you guys see? I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not showing you guys. Okay. I'll go back to the.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. It's working. Alright, perfect.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Someone could just check if the audio, someone say something.
Yo,
Okay, yeah, it's
yo,
working. Audio is working as
yo.
well. Audio is working
Perfect.
as well. Perfect.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
I just need to. Okay, just to move this over here. I need to bring this over here. And I'm chilling. I'm chilling right here. Okay. Oh, good. Whenever you're ready, Kenji. Okay, crack
All
on.
right, okay.
First slide is the assistant manager table bonus slide.
Perfect, bro. You can walk through. You can walk through. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FPL Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, Kanji FPL, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, FPL K-Man and FPL Stark. Hopefully, you guys had a really interesting game week 25. We had a double game week for Liverpool, which was massive. Lots of chips were active. In fact, I actually have some statistics for you guys. So, last week we had 65% of people had an active assistant manager, and 5% of people had an active triple captain. And so that actually made me question, okay, like what is the total chip usage so far in the season, right? So 65% of people have already used their triple captain. In addition, another 65% of people have already used their assistant manager. So a lot of people have already used some of their chips. And then if we think about the other chips like the bench boost, the wall card, 20% of people have already activated their bench boost, and 10% of people have already used their second wall card. So just interesting to keep in mind some of the chip statistics. But yeah, just hoping that you guys had a good game week 25. Was it great for you guys or what?
Not really. Slot drew in one again, and like it's a, it's a loss because we are actually going against. It's like a fairly 40-60 split, essentially 45-55 split on the AM chip, and we're like competing against each other. It's like you triple captain Salah the week someone triple captains Haaland, and imagine that's then 50% split amongst the community, and Salah gets one return and Haaland gets a hat trick. Like it's very very frustrating, but it is what it is.
Do you feel a little bit hard done by because this is like the second week where you're feeling like this?
I don't feel hard done by at all. No, I just think I can't control it, can I? So 98th minute volley, and then Darwin Nunes missing open goals.
Man, Darwin was a legit joke, man. K-Man, what are you thinking?
Huh. Got a lot of thoughts about previous game week. I mean, if we're talking about Liverpool and slot, I was told, how can you back against the best team in the world? Not twice, but three times. How can you back against the most informed team in the Premier League? How can you back against a team that have not lost this season except one game? So the narrative was I was backing the best team with a double double. It was almost a no brainer going into game week 25 or 24 when the double was announced. Double double was announced. I, for one, myself also fell into that narrative and believed it. I was a fool. Liverpool are indeed a bunch of fucking bottlers. They're horse shit. Her slot is a basically Ten Hag's evil twin. He's a fat version of Ten Hag. He's an absolute bottler. To back to drop points versus Everton and Villa, who are basically toothless right now. They're missing so many key players. It's shameless, honestly. Nothing to say. And they're gonna bottle the league. And inshallah, I'm gonna root for them to bottle the league. I'll be Liverpool's biggest hater from this day onward. This feels like an L. I know it's not a disastrous L, but it still feels like an L because I paid premium price for a manager, planned ahead. I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed the third Liverpool. I sacrificed many other things, many other moves, even double game with players such as the Everton assets for this fucking bum, just for him to fucking drop a disaster class. Meanwhile, I could have saved all this money and I could have gone for more than come out winner. So I'm very disappointed. And yeah, these are my harsh words, honestly. Apologies for the language, but I'm really pissed off and I'm
No,
still
but
not over
that's
it.
no, that's just
I'm
real.
really
I mean, that's
salty
what
as
the
well,
viewers
actually.
want to.
I'm salty. I'm not over it. I'm genuinely not over it. It's not over it. You can't tell me
And
28 points
honestly, like,
after 4 games is good enough. It's not good enough. 28 points after 4 games is not good enough. No way.
especially when it's like if you can get lucky, you can get like 20 points in one game. But I think this is why people tune in because they want to hear like the real side of like what it's like. So I just feel like you guys got unlucky. Like Liverpool easily could have won all of these games.
I don't think
It
it's
is what it
unlucky.
is, man. What are you gonna
I
do?
think we read it wrong. I think the stats were coming out after the fact, like basically after I've already committed to it. The stats were coming out, like the fact that Villa's record was really strong at home. I didn't know these records beforehand. I didn't really look at it. I also didn't know the fact that Everton had such a strong record versus Liverpool as well. Apparently there was something like apparently at Villa Park, they haven't lost since I don't know when, and then apparently the stat says that the head to head is like almost same record. Like Everton won 42 match or something, and Liverpool also won 42 or something. I'm not sure, but the record was good for the
Yeah.
underdogs. I just didn't look at that, and I probably underestimated it. I think it's on my part. I think I underestimated the likes of Emery and especially Moyes. Actually, I definitely underestimated him.
So,
So
so if we could like redo it,
I'm
let's say
going
like
Moyes.
this exact.
Moyes no brainer. Moyes no brainer. Absolutely. Can't you think about it? Less money, right? So it's less headache to basically release funds and whatnot. You could spend that 1 million somewhere else. So instead of Hoyson, I could have Kirkes or that 1 million is a big money, right? You can go somewhere else.
Mhm.
You can upgrade one of your strikers or midfielders. Instead of having two budget enabling midfielders, you could have only one, right? There are many things I could have done with that extra million. I could have gone for an extra Liverpool defender or an attacker. Obviously, in hindsight, it may not seem like a worth it, but foresight wise, it would have been like it was worth it if I went with Moyes route. And I would have probably cashed in Gakpo's 16 pointer as well, right? So I was just pissed off. I'm just pissed off. Like it's just what it is.
Well, this is just like one battle, right? Like there are so many battles that we've faced so far in the season. Stark, how are you feeling about it? Do you
But
feel
it's a chip though,
similarly? Like
Kanji.
if
It's a
you had
chip
to,
though. But it's a chip though. It's just not just a battle.
right?
Like it's not just a player. Like I feel like I lost I feel like I lost the TC battle, and I've also lost the AM battle as currently stands. And I feel like that's a lesson I'm to learn. And I genuinely feel like I'm hard. Like I don't want to say hard done. I genuinely feel like I fucked it. Like I'm blaming myself. Do you know what I mean?
You don't need to, bro. You've done good, bro. Like the amount of points you have, it's not perfect, but at least you haven't wasted transfers, right? It's like for example,
Yeah, I've
you
been
can
good
look
with
at a
my
little
transfers.
battle.
Yeah, yeah. I've been efficient with
Yeah,
my punts and my transfers. I've been aggressive. It's just that my chips have not paid off so far because I lost to the TC in 24, and whoever TC'd in 24, or even in 26. How much did Salah get this week?
funny.
20, and Haaland got 17. So see, I lost back to back week on triple captain, and I lost to fucking Moyes. Are you? Let me stop, bro. Let me stop, bro. Like, let me stop, bro. Let me not go there, bro. Let me
And
not
the
go there,
crazy
bro.
thing is you have to pay more for it. It's so unpredictable. It's so unpredictable, bro. Like predicting results in like whenever you're making bets in general is very difficult. Like that's usually where I lose my money is like predicting who I think is gonna win a game.
You know what's even hurts more is the fact that I was rooting for my fierce rival. That even hurts more. That makes me feel disgusted. And that's another thing. That's another element I didn't even touch on. The fact that I was rooting for my fierce rival, like, bro, I don't like this shit, bro. I don't fucking like it, bro. Fuck it, bro. Like, call me hash bias,
Um,
call me freaking result bias, whatever, bro. Fuck this shit, bro.
but shout out to Zuby in the chat, Ben in the chat. We'll definitely be answering your questions along the pod, especially at the end if we don't touch on it during the podcast. Mark, do you have any thoughts if you had to like go and rewind it and redo it? Would you go and would you have changed it or would you have still gone slow?
Um, I would have still gone slot because that's what I had planned to do. So it's all team dependent. So I wouldn't if I go back to what my team looked like with two Liverpool players, then I would have still gone for slot. But I've gone for I've moved to Glasner and I'll give my verdict after Palace because if Palace win, I'll be on like almost 50 points. So
Wow.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take 48 points from this chip. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. I mean, my expectation coming in was like, 40 points is excellent. And I think you guys are on what, like 30 something at this point?
No, 28, bro. It's not good enough after 4 games. 28
Yeah,
points
so
from a
30 points is
1.5
fine.
million
Like,
manager is not good enough. Like, it's not good enough.
mm,
Like, listen,
yeah.
it's not
I guess you pay the
disastrous.
premium, you just expect.
Yeah, I expected more. Like at least give me 4 wins. Like, don't. I'm not even asking for 4 clean sheets. Give me 4 wins. 999. Like, at least give me that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
bro, it's just whatever, man. It's whatever, bro.
I know what you mean. Well, okay, well, what we can do is we can take what we've learned so far and like move it on to game week 26. Like, this is the last week of the AM. I know you guys are feeling a little bit disappointed because, you've had some underdogs come and take points from you, and those people are actually fighting against you. So, like you guys mentioned, it's like a head to head battle. So, there are some really interesting opportunities for assistant manager, right? So I think the key ones are the ones highlighted. Interestingly enough, the best one on paper is actually going to be Arsenal at home, but that was not highlighted. But so we have Leicester at home in the early kickoff. At the King Power Stadium, coming up against Brentford, where you're going to be battling some people that will even consider captaining Brian and Bumo as well. You have Arsenal at home, playing against West Ham.
Just
Keep
to
in mind,
clarify,
Arsenal don't
Kanji,
have Saka.
just to clarify, the reason why Arsenal is not highlighted because Arsenal are favourites. We're only highlighting the underdogs here.
The underdogs. Okay, yeah, okay, cool, got you. So, well, Arsenal are going to be at home playing against West Ham, but they're going to be without Saka. Keep that in mind. West Ham would get the underdog bonus, right? Bournemouth are at home to Wolves. So you could honestly take either side of that. Wolves would also be table bonus. Fulham are at home to Palace. Palace is a very interesting topic within the community. And then we have Ipswich at home to Spurs. And whenever you're looking for a result with Tottenham, it's always a good place to go because Spurs pick up a lot of their results in the bigger games and they drop points to the easy teams. Like that's what they're known for. And then Southampton are going to be at home to Brighton. So it's weird because a lot of the teams that you want to trust, like the favorites, are actually away in a way. Like Spurs are away, Brighton are away. Like I would have loved to have been on like a Brighton at home, but I'm personally not on AM, so I haven't put as much time and thought into this decision. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I've gone to Glasner, so in my opinion, Glasner's the best underdog option. That's what I've moved to. I think that Palace and Fulham are quite evenly. They're quite close to one another, ability-wise, team-wise. So I think it's a fair game, and I think on any they could play 10 times, and I think Glasner could win 5, Fulham could win 5, Glasner could win 4, Silver could win 6, and then vice versa. So that's what I've gone with.
I'm currently leaning towards Glasgow as well. Like I'm probably 80% there. I'm kind of worried about Ez's fitness though. He did come off the bench in the last game, so I'm gonna wait for the press conference in tomorrow. And obviously, if there is positive news on Eze and that it does look like he's going to start, I'm probably gonna go there myself as well. 80 to 90% there. However, there is a 10% chance if Eze is if he's a big doubt, I'm probably looking at McKinnon as my second favorite option because they've already beat
McKenna is
Spurs
for
in the
which team?
reverse picture. Yeah, they already beat Spurs in the reverse picture at their home. So I do think that they do have a good chance. The only thing is, I think they're also kind of riddled with injuries. I think their new signing, Enciso, I think got injured in the last game. So it's unfortunate. And they also, I think, have a. Their keeper is quite good, actually. Palmer, my goodness, he saved us versus Villa. So the third keeper that has actually started now, he seems to be much better than the other two, Muric
Norwich.
and yeah, Muric and others. So that's my favorite one. And I have to go for table bonus to speak. Unfortunately, I can't sit on my ass and just keep playing safe because that safe has got me nowhere. Only stressed out for no reason. Ended up obviously results going against me. So from now, I just want to attack. I think one lesson I've learned is that with this chip, I think you gotta go for an underdog and you gotta chase. And I think with favorites, it's too much. It's too much of a risk for me. It sounds crazy. It seems too much of a risk to go for a favorite. Like it actually sounds crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, the way that they've made the point system is like it incentivizes you to go and take on like an
Underdog.
underdog if you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I would advise people that if you are going to use this chip, try to target underdog teams, even in double game weeks, because the proof is in the pudding. So
Yeah, but doesn't it feel like the lesser of the two evils this week? Like I don't really feel like any of these are like perfect opportunities, like slam dunk. You know?
It's never going to be a slam dunk underdog opportunity.
I think the closest one we come to was the Fulham and Forest, which we're looking at, all of us.
Yeah. So why are you guys interested in this one over the others?
Interest what? Sorry.
Like, why are we interested in Palace over some like another team like West Ham or Ipswich?
Because West Ham are trash and they're playing Arsenal. There's a big skill gap between the two teams. Do I think West Ham can get a result? Absolutely. But which teams are closer in ability? West Ham and Arsenal or Palace and Fulham? I think it's obvious. Wolves and Bournemouth, fairly close, but Bournemouth are at home and their record's amazing at home this season and they're on fire. And then Southampton versus Brighton. I'm not using an AM chip on Southampton and I'm not using an AM chip on Ipswich. So for me, Palace makes the most logical sense.
I agree with that pretty much. You covered it. Obviously, there are a few points that I could mention to you, Kanji. Obviously, Palace's way record this season or in the last 8 game weeks, they've only lost 1-0 to Forest, which is a very good team as we know, and they've won, I think, the rest of their matches or drew them. And then they haven't considered in the last 4 games. That's insane. Last 4 away games, they haven't considered a single goal. And Fulham's record versus Palace is winless since January 1st, 2005, over 20 years. That's music to my ears, right? And then Fulham, obviously, they've also lost 4-1 to United. Sorry, Wolves. Southampton, they drew and lost to United. So they can be sometimes hit or miss. So I'm hoping that's one of their off day, hopefully. So I guess the con is obviously as an injury or doubtful. And Fulham has obviously, as of recently, they did beat Newcastle as well as Forest, so they may be on a hot form. But you know, it is what it is. You gotta, pick someone, man. You can't have perfect everything. So
Yeah. So can we move to like 2 slides from here? We can see like the AMs based on the raw T data, and I think he showed us. I think in game week 26, we're looking at the projected points.
yeah,
You're able
just
to see that
yeah,
like Arsenal are actually ahead of Glasner, even though they're the favorites. So
yeah, yeah.
have you guys
I,
at least considered
I, I,
Arsenal? Because you
I,
have
I,
the money already. You have
Yeah, yeah,
slot.
yeah. Yeah. I'll get to that, but I just want to show people like, so if you're looking at this, green versus green, so Ipswich and Tottenham, there's 5 places and gaps between them. And if you're looking at Fulham and Palace, there's also 5 places gap between the table. That's how the bonus system works. So when you're picking a team to chase a table bonus, that's the gap you need to look at. So I'm just highlighting just for the viewer, obviously. So moving on to the Rob TFPL's projection, as Kanji was talking about. You talking about this one or the next one? This one.
Either one, yeah. I was just noticing like Arsenal were ahead of Glasgow. Like Arsenal was ahead of Palace. I was just
All
curious
right.
to see, okay, like, are we just saying that the Arsenal odds are just not realistic? They're overvalued because they don't have Saka, or are we thinking that like you want to take on a little bit more risk,
What's
more
Arsenal ceiling?
reward? Or what
What's
are we
Arsenal
thinking?
ceiling?
I would say like maybe 9 points, like a two nothing win would be what I expect.
All right. What's Glasgow's ceiling?
I mean, Glasner would be what 10 points for a win,
No,
um,
no.
ten
For
points for
10
the
point
bonus, 6 points
bonus,
for the win, like
yeah.
2-1 type of thing, you know?
So if it's 2-1 or 2-0, Glasgow has 20 point ceiling or 90 point ceiling or
Yeah.
18,
But
18 to
then you
20 point
multiply
ceiling.
that by like the percentage chance of that actually happening.
But
Because I would
Kanji,
say that Arsenal
I
have like
understand.
a
I understand that, but this graph does not represent what the outcome will be. I'm sorry, it does not. And we have looked at Rob's FPL week in week out. Not always that's how it plays out. 9 times out of 10, they're all, majority of the time they're wrong. Like, if you select players just based on Rob FPLs on Fantasy Premier League, that will not guarantee you FPL win. That won't guarantee it. Did Rob
What
TFPL? What was the prediction for Wood to score versus Fulham last week?
no, it was really low. It was super
There
low.
we go. So there we go.
Secondly, what was the predictions for Isak to score versus Man City?
It was really high.
Yeah, it was definitely strong. Yeah.
Thirdly, what was the odds for Liverpool to draw against Everton and Villa? Like, just genuinely, what were the odds?
They were not good. I
Yeah,
think
you
Everton
probably would
got.
have got good
I
odds
think
there
I think
if you
Everton got
backed
good
it.
odds, but not Villa. I don't think Villa had good odds.
Yeah, so listen. Anyways, I get some people's style. They look at the data. The Rob T's. I've never looked at it in my life and made a decision based off it. It's just not my style. I'm not here to hate on it. It's just not. It doesn't coincide with the way I play FPL.
I'm just wondering that like if you continue with like your favorite strategy, like what if you guys are the real winners?
No,
Like I was
what?
just
No,
putting this
we're not.
idea out there, like what if like
Well,
because
Kanji.
there well, let's say right now if somebody went for Moyes and then went to Emery, how many points would they be on versus you guys?
Uh,
Moyes is
I
on.
can't.
Sorry, Moyes and Emery is on 36. Slot is on 28. So there is 8 point gap.
28. Okay, so what if you guys like the guys that they spent less money, so they can't even consider Arteta, right? So it's like, what if they also go to Glasner and then they lose, and you could have gone to Arteta and Arsenal win? Like you could genuinely be up on these guys if you continue down the favorite path. There's just something to consider,
I
you know.
saw the world number one going to Arteta. Look, I'm not gonna be a follower, bro. I'll tell you what it is, bro. Listen, I look at it as this. I'm not gonna look at. For me, it's like this. Am I optimizing the chip? That's the number one question. How do you optimize the chip? Is maximizing it by getting the most points possible. I went with the favorites for 4 game weeks. 4 games, sorry, 4 games total. It has not worked out. Maybe one week where he got 10 points, right? The other one he got 8 points. That's not amazing. A favourite should be crushing Wolves like 4-0 something like that. Do you know what I mean? 12 points, 13 points, something like that. Only 8 points. And he draws versus Everton, draws versus Villa. I've had my fair share of going with the favourite, and I won with the so-called best team in the world. Now Arteta, he's not the second best team in the world. Furthermore, they're struggling. Like the goals they scored was a sub. Like he was a sub impact. They were struggling to score versus freaking. Who did they play last week? Leicester. I'm sorry. Like West Ham are not Leicester. They're much better than Leicester. Like let's not do that right now, right? So yes, they can win, but I don't see a thrashing. I don't see West Ham getting thrashed, right? So the upside is not there for me. His ceiling is 9 points or 10 points at best. 9 to 10 points for Arteta. I'm sorry, that does not fucking excite me. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, apologies. Sorry. That
Listen,
does not excite me, man. Yeah.
we've gone for two safe picks back to back. You know, I always said I'm going to take a balanced approach, and now it's my time to go for an underdog. And I really like Glasner as an underdog. So, yeah, I've already made the move, so I'm happy. Looking forward to the game week.
I'll be there with you, most likely. Moving on. This is the same thing, I think. So, yeah. All right. Do you guys want to touch on the fixtures or anything on Bournemouth assets? Because I think Ahmad is injured, so I'm probably looking at a double Bournemouth mid. So it's an interesting discussion.
Whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
whoa.
Well, I could. I'm not.
Interesting.
I'm not 100% there yet. I'm not gonna make that move this week. I'm potentially looking at next week. So for those who have Ahmad, I do recommend a double Bournemouth mid if you already have one of Semenyo, Clivert, or whatnot. So in terms of a second mid, say for example, let's assume that most people have Clivert. Who do you prefer out of Altaro, Semenyo, and what's his name? What's the other one? Tavernier.
Tavernier's gone, bro. I mean, if you have your wild card in your back pocket, I'd definitely go Dango. I honestly don't think it's like it's pretty clear cut. Like it's honestly not like a question because like if the minutes are there in the short term and you also have your wild card to bail you out, just go for the player that has like the higher risk, higher reward. What do you guys think?
I'm not really keen on double Bournemouth midfield, to be honest. But if I had my wild card and I was forced to play, I'd probably go Atari, yeah.
Otara maybe. I think I'm
Yeah.
Otara as well, but I
But
just feel
what's
like
interesting is that like I'm gonna I made my move later on so I can secure a Bournemouth midfielder next week. I have Rodgers in that position this week. I'm happy to play him against Chelsea. They've been pretty poor, but I can't even consider Dango. Like he's not an option for me because like he can just disappear like 3 or 4 weeks later if like even Nelson comes back and the minutes are just like 50-50 type of thing, like somebody starts and the next day the other guy starts. I can't go for a guy like that. I don't have my wild card in me. So I need to get up to Semenyo. He's more expensive. So there are people that if you have your wild card in your back pocket, there's no need to go to Semenyo. Like you should go for the high risk play in the short term while you can. Unless you're really looking to save your wild card for 35, 36 and you put value in that, that's one of the only places where I think you'd want to go Semenyo. But if you're happy to use your wild card in 31, 32, you should be on Dango.
yeah, for me, I think Dango is a bit risky for me because Vinicius is predicted to, I've heard that he's going to be back soon. So I'm going to wait for one more week of information just to see on his timeline and his return. I could make a decision based on when he's back on between Semenyo and Dango. However, if I do get Semenyo, I'm not playing him every week. It's most likely going to be a bench warmer, and I'm only going to use it for 29 most likely. Or I might go somewhere else. I'll see. But yeah, Altaro is a good shout too. Just that I'm worried about his rotation.
I just think if you're going to wildcard in 31, 32, what's the point of having two Bournemouth mids anyway? Sure, there's like
I don't think I
there's
will.
there's like you've got other short term like assets from different teams. Like I just don't like doubling up on a team because if it goes wrong, I don't like that feeling personally.
I get you. I've experienced Chelsea, so I'm gonna wait as long as I can before I go there. So I agree with you. Moving on to, I mean that's already covered. You guys want to touch on this?
Yeah, so like basically the chips, like there was like an interesting development. I think we're gonna have to change our slides going into next week, which is gonna be that double game week 32 has arrived, right? So now if we go back, is there like a Ben Crellin spreadsheet
Yeah,
essentially
there is
that
Ben
we have?
Crellin spreadsheet. Yeah, there we go. This one, yeah. I
Yes,
don't
okay,
think
so
this is
you
the most
see in game
updated
week
one though.
32 it's
What's
it's not. So we'll pull the next one for next week. But basically Newcastle Palace has gone into 32. So which is a really interesting update because This was interesting. The reason why like going for AM was so strong when you guys went for it was because you had two back-to-back double game weeks. But I think we're also going to be in store to have back-to-back double game weeks in 32 as well as in 33. Now, I am honestly really thankful that I actually triple captain Salah because I don't know if Salah will have another double game week for the rest of the season. And going forward, like the teams or that could potentially double, it could be like a Holland maybe. It could be like an Alexander Isak. Well, I mean, they're not Salah in this season, you know. So I'm glad that I used my triple captain, bro. I can't lie. And you guys did really well with your triple captain. You guys both had like 17 points. So from an output perspective, you're basically you're doing great for your triple captain points as well. So um,
Yeah, we're lucky.
yeah, just
The real winners were last game week 24, and majority of people didn't use it then because they were on AM. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of other people didn't really use it because they didn't like the double. So there was I would say there wasn't a large player base that used it. So
Sorry, this is the updated one. Sorry, Stark and Kanji. Sorry, this is the updated one.
we're
perfect,
lucky.
perfect. Yes, thanks for updating it, bro. So as we can
So
see, like there is potential like back-to-back double game weeks, right? So the advantage of going for AM essentially in 24 was that hey, we're getting back-to-back double game weeks. It's unprecedented. This has never happened before in FPL history, but looks like we're having it again later in the
can
season.
I just say, like, if you have the AM chip, I'm sorry, like, I would go Glasner for the whole freaking time, bro. What? What? Sorry, I think it's fucked. I think your face is not showing. Hold on. There it goes. Well, it's showing now. Sorry, apologies. All right, yeah. Can you guys see now? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, it's working now. Apologies. So yeah, I would just say I would go Glass. Like, listen, this is fun. Like, are you seeing this? Like, I would go. Okay, maybe I wouldn't go Glasner for the first week because that one is a hit and miss. Brighton, right? I don't think there'll be table bonus as well. But if there's table bonus for 31, shit, I might do 31, 32, 33 all Glasner, bro. I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. Like, if I could take back, if I could go back in time, I'm saving that shit, bro. Like, fuck.
yo, that potential double would be potentially. This actually could be like for Crystal Palace. It could be Bournemouth at home, Arsenal away. Two potential chances for table bonus,
Kanji,
as well as in
all it takes is
32.
two upsets. Two upsets. That's all it takes in 5 games.
Yo, that'd be crazy.
And they play Bournemouth at home as well. Bournemouth game could be an upset. And Palace is a tough beat. Arsenal are gonna struggle to beat Palace, bro. Like, okay, like you know what I mean? Like, oh man.
I mean, there's that, but then, if you look at it from a Newcastle perspective, like in 31, they have Leicester away. I mean, I would just expect them to beat them. I know they destroyed them at home, and away is a different story, but I still think these like New Proto sides are just a big cut below like the good teams in this league. And then you have two back-to-back home games against Manchester United at home and Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah.
So, in terms of a favorite, they're also good as well because they're back-to-back home.
I mean, look, triple captain. If you ever left, you can use on Isak in 32. I think it's a very easy chip to use. But I feel like if you have an arm and there's a double double, I think arm probably is the best chip to use. You just gotta basically decide on what you value the most. Do you value the TC over the arm? Do you value the bench boost over the TC and the arm? So basically, you could use TC and bench boost in 32 and 33. However, if you use the arm, you can't use the two other chips. So that's the basically balance you gotta make. If I had to
And you gotta
choose,
hope. So basically, if you want to use your AM from 31 to 33, which I think is going to be a minority, because most people, I think 65% of the game is already activated AM. So for the minority of people that still have it left, we're going to be hoping that there's a double in 36, so we can use our bench boost then.
yeah.
there'll be
I
Currently,
did want to ask you
yeah.
guys.
Currently, there's no double in 36. Yeah. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, there's no confirmation. Like we're gonna
There
have
is
to
one.
wait for updates on all that.
Actually, no, maybe there's none. Actually, there's none. I think there's none.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the fact that the Newcastle Palace game has gone into 32? How do you think that impacts your chip strategy, given that that's the same teams that blank in 29?
I don't even know.
it's a it's a benefit for free hit 29 to be fair. But we've got a wild card, so it's not that deep. But yeah, it's definitely a benefit to free hit 29 in that sense. But yeah, 34 will be difficult to navigate. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
a lot of
depending on
teams
how big
blanking.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how many people are doubling in 33 will cause either a really big blank in 34 or it could be like, fairly big, but there's definitely going to be at least like 4 to 6 teams blanking in 34, so it should be pretty big.
Yeah. Moving on. Should we
Yeah.
move on?
I think yeah, I wanted to like see if you guys like actually change your chip strategy maybe
I don't
because
have a tip
now
strategy at
that
the moment.
Palace isn't 32,
I actually
it's
don't
like
have a chip
doesn't it?
strategy, bro. Like, cause I'm gonna navigate blank
Yeah,
29, and I'm gonna decide the rest of the chip strategy once the double is announced for 33. Currently, I'm not
yeah,
committing
because
anything.
let's be realistic. You guys were really low on Everton. I know Everton have gone out there and continue to pick up wins, but that kind of hurt you guys in the double. And it actually helped me survive because I didn't have any chips active, but I had triple Everton in my wild card. So those points kept me up even though I didn't have a chip active, right? So I wonder if you don't activate a chip in 32, for example, maybe you might be in a good position to say, hey, I'm going to wild card in 31, go 3 Palace,
Well,
3 Newcastle, and still have enough players for 33 to bench boost maybe.
you don't need to activate a chip because you can get a five doublers with free transfers easily. And the single game with players, the likes of Chris Wood, the Cunhas of the world, have Wolves and stuff. Sorry, Spurs. They have good fixtures. Even Liverpool, they play
Facts,
West
bro.
Ham. Like they're West Ham, like it's good fixture. So like it's
Yeah.
gonna be tough,
Speaking of
bro.
like speaking of Chris Wood, he's really like he has really saved your guys' season. Like owning the consistency of Chris Wood is something that basically puts people in the top 1% of FPL this season. Like there's no doubt
I
about
don't
it.
like how I don't like the way people are saying he saved up the season. Chris Wood is a good asset. We kept him, we own him for a reason, and if you don't own him, that's your problem. So it's not a save. It's rather
No, it is though. So I think
oh
Chris Wood will go down as the having the highest conversion rate in Premier League history in terms of a striker to score goals. Like this is not a joke. Like his conversion rate is
wait.
actually like 35%.
So I could make the
It's
argument and
higher than
say
Holland.
that the Everton asset saved your season. Like
Oh no, no, I know, but that's fair. You can say like we were lucky to get a clean sheet. Like you could say that, but
I
I
don't
think
think so, bro.
that's what happens when you go for double game week players. But I just want to say like
I think
Chris
you
Wood
make your luck,
himself.
right? I think you have to put yourself in position to be lucky. I think with the Chris Wood one, I think we genuinely saw one of the most informed strikers. Scored 5 game weeks in a row. He only blanked versus Bournemouth, which is a very good defense at home. All of a sudden, he just sold. Like if it was any other asset like Salah or Palmer, if they basically returned 5 weeks in a row, and they returned really big as well, you're not selling them just because they're playing Bournemouth or Brighton or Fulham. You're not selling Salahs and Palmers because of that. You're not, especially when they're in form.
Yeah,
So I didn't understand the narrative to sell Chris Wood just because he blanked uh, 1 game week out of 6. Like,
yeah. We're so spoiled, man. Trust me, we're so spoiled, bro. As soon as somebody blanks, it's like I'm getting him out of here.
yeah, we
So
touched on
I
blank
know what you
29 a
mean.
lot. I think it does somewhat favor the free hitters, I guess. I'm still on the mind that I think you should save your free hit. I think you should navigate it because there's so much information we do not know. And blank game week 34 could be massive, and you would be able to be in a better position to navigate that blank, and potentially obviously set yourself up for a bench boost 36. If you have the amp chip, you could use it from 33 to 30, 32 to 33, and bench boost later with wildcard. However, depending on team, maybe it is best for you to use a free hit in 29, especially if you have 7, 8, 9 players blank. So it's very team dependent.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. What do you guys think of I just wanted to talk about like FPL, like the landscape in general. Like we have Chris Wood as somebody that he's like an example of someone that will happen in next season. Like in previous seasons, we've had the likes of Almiron, we've had the likes of Gundogan, where it's like they just picked up red hot form, and if you didn't own them, they basically ended your season
no,
because everybody
Almiron
went
is
to
not a
them
good
and they were
comparison.
consistent.
Almiron is not a good
Okay,
comparison. I would say Solanke from last season is a good comparison for Chris Wood.
okay. But
So
we have players exactly. So we have players like that that are just in red hot form that like you just have to get to them, and it's like they have such high effective ownership against you. So in this position, like we have Chris Wood now, his fixtures aren't that great. Do we have like a fixture ticker you
yeah,
could
I
like
mean,
look through?
I think it was somewhere here. Sorry, there you go. Oh,
No
yeah,
worries. No worries.
and
Can
it
you
was
read it? I
somewhere
think
here.
the.
You can read
Do
it.
you mind reading like the Forest fixtures coming up?
Yeah, Forest has Well, from game week 26, they have play overseas Newcastle, Liverpool, and no, sorry, Newcastle, Arsenal, and City. There is a question on obviously that they can't hear me for some reason. I don't know what else. I think my mic is dead. I think, bro. Oh my god.
No, you're good. You're good. You were quiet before. You're better
Are you
now. Don't
sure?
worry. Yeah, definitely.
Let me quickly change my mic. Hold on. I think the chat is saying they can't hear me, bro.
Okay, okay. No stress. But yeah, I was just noticing that the Nottingham Forest fixture are actually very difficult. So like, there's a reason so many people have tried to go against them
Can you
and
guys
have
hear me?
failed. The question is,
I think they can.
yeah,
Okay. Um.
yeah,
So I was just let me know, chat, if you guys can hear me. Uh, I have an issue with my mic. It says, oh my god.
damn,
I don't
interesting.
know what's going on. Shit. Shit. Hold
No,
on.
no problem. All good, man. But Stark, is
Can you
Wood
guys
gonna be
probably
like a season hold? No way. Yo,
I don't.
Stark, is Wood gonna be
No,
like a season hold for you?
no, it won't be.
Really?
No, because it depends. Like we've got doubles coming up, and if I wild card, then I wouldn't have Chris Wood, would I? Because there's other players that double, so
Mm.
that
'Cause I thought
simple.
like, because I think at this point, Chris Wood, if you own him, like you would just look to bench him maybe in the next few weeks, and then just play him for the rest. Like the fixtures are just so good for Forest, you know?
Yeah, I'll play him against Newcastle, and then I would play him against Man City as well, and I'd bench him against Arsenal. That's the only fixture I'd bench him in.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So he's yeah,
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
understand.
I think you guys can hear me, right? All right. Cool. I've just increased the volume as well. So yeah, I was just. What was the question, Kanji? Sorry.
But we were just talking about like Chris Wood. I was saying how consistent he was. His
Mm.
conversion rate was so excellent, but he has some difficult fixtures coming up.
Okay. Yeah. So the question on the space I was asked earlier was who would you so right now this week if you were to buy someone, would you buy Chris Wood or would you buy Cunha? I said that I would buy Cunha. I think logically on paper it only makes sense because you could easily start Cunha the next three or next however long. I mean, he's got a good fixture on for a long time. However, with Chris Wood, you have Arsenal, you have Newcastle this week, tough fixture, away to St James Park. I know he's got a good track record. I mean, he scored a hat trick last season, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen again. He could probably get one goal or something, but I don't see a hat trick as much as I'd love for it to be. And then you got Arsenal. I don't see him scoring there. I'll probably bench him. I know it sounds. I'm the biggest Chris Wood fan, and I'm saying that, but Arsenal is a great defense. And Man City, we saw what Man City done to Forest at home. So the next three fixtures are not ideal. I think I'd much rather have Cunha. Feel like if you didn't have Chris Wood, you don't buy him right now. Maybe you look to buy him in 29 if you for a blank play, like someone like Isak with blanking. But yeah, would I be keeping Chris Wood the whole season? Um, I don't want to say no to that. I probably will, but it just depends on the doublers. I think like even if I sell him, I think I'm gonna buy him back. Maybe it's for a couple of weeks. I'll go without him because I would prioritize the doublers like Mateta and Isak and Watkins and others. But I can definitely see. I'm not sure what the fixture. Let me just see the fixtures to the end of the season. Look, look, his fixtures from game week 33, even 33,
They're
34.
excellent.
Yeah, they're all excellent. So I think I
Excellent.
can see myself ending the season with him. And so
Definitely.
probably I would own him most
Or
of the
even,
season.
bro,
But yeah,
I've only owned Wood like 3 or 4 weeks this year, and even I know I'm ending my season with Wood. Like
yeah,
you just
yeah, yeah.
need Wood.
No, you're
You
gonna need
know?
Chris Wood versus Leicester and West Ham and Chelsea. I'm sorry, you're gonna need for those three fixtures.
Yeah, I
So
mean
yeah, Leicester
everybody.
36
Yeah,
bench boost, he will be there. That's interesting.
yeah.
I could easily see myself having triple Forest if I were to bench boost in 36. Like,
Yo, they're,
Yeah, I mean
they're
everybody
saying
loves
that.
Wood, you know.
Listen, they're saying that you're still low.
it says they said better now. I'm reading it saying better now.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
So moving on, Kanji. Let's move on.
100%, bro.
Kanji's we already touched on this. Okay.
Should we do
Wait,
PSG?
Yeah,
can I
let's
ask you
let's do
guys a
captaincy
question
before
before?
we move on. Let's do the captaincy.
Oh, okay, go.
Yeah. For
All right,
me,
so
I just want to say something. I've basically quote tweeted Talk FPL on X, and he basically said the best captain this week is Mbimo, which I understand where he's coming from. He's looking at the fixtures and he's saying, "Look, this is the best captain." But I think that's just. I think it's just. I think then you're not. I feel like that was a. I feel like that take was more like just from the face of it. And Mbeumo, really good asset, and he's got Leicester. Bang, he's the best captain. But I feel like that tweet missed a lot of context to that. For example, he has only returned in the last 5 games only once, and that was a penalty which he missed, and then he scored, right? And on all of those games, a majority of those games, from what I watch anyways, none of those games he played up front. Yes, he would occasionally come in up front, like in a counter attack, or maybe occasionally basically dribble in, or he will try to come in. But the minute he comes in, the creativity lacks in the width, right? That no one else can hold the width like how he holds it. So he's always forced to basically be pushed out, right? And especially when Shadow's on the pitch, it just seems like whether he likes to be pushed out or not, it just seems like Shadow occupies the space that he would have been in, and he's forced to go out wide and be the creator and hoof the ball in for Wissa to header in, etc. Right? So when an asset is becoming an assister or a pre-assister, and his threat is an assist more so than a goal, I just don't see that to be an explosive asset, and that asset wouldn't fear me. I know his EO is high. If I wasn't an owner right now and there was a good alternative like a Bowen maybe or a Gordon at a good fixtures, for example, I would be happy to back against Mbeumo. Or even with Foden, I would be happy to back against Mbeumo with Foden. And this is the reason why I don't think he's a captaincy shout. When you're making a captaincy shout, these are the things that needs to tick. Fiction needs to be there, player needs to be in form, and not only that, they need to be explosive. I'm just not seeing the explosivity from Mbeumo. So these are the reasons why I actually quoted it and said why I don't like it. And his positioning as well, where he's positioned. So, but I don't know why I got so much hate for it. But there we go.
So are we going to talk about Alex Wallo's post or what?
No, he's irrelevant. So why do we care? Like, did he get any likes, tweets? Like, no one,
Yeah,
no one even freaking said
basically,
it. Yeah. So
the context was like that. K-Man posted that he was saying that Bumo was playing pretty wide at times. I don't know if he's the best captain. And then Alex Wallo basically said he basically posted like a MythBusters tweet about what K-Man was saying. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know in case you guys aren't on Twitter, you're updated on that. But captaincy is really open. Like this is the week to take on Mohamed Salah. Like there are 2 weeks to really do this. He has Manchester City away from home. Next week he has Newcastle at home, but it's at Anfield. So when I'm looking at it in terms of like effective ownership, I think we're still going to look at least 160% Mo Salah. I don't think there is going to be the perfect opportunity to go against him because the other players that we would trust, the likes of Cole Palmer, the likes of Erling Haaland, the likes of Alexander Isak, there just isn't a perfect spot. You see Isak's at home, but he's playing against a top 2 or top 3 defense. Then you have Palmer, he's playing away, but it's against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa defense isn't that good. They have Axel Disasi that should be the center back, but he's not even eligible to play. Konza is still injured. So it's like there is a potential like chance to go to Palmer cap, but Chelsea haven't even been playing that great as a team. Like people are considering selling Palmer to get to Holland soon. So it's like I don't think people have confidence to put the Castellon ban on Palmer either. So it's just not really a slam dunk alternative. And that's why in Bumo, even though here's the early kickoff, it's just such a good fixture. And I think Bumo does so well in those newly promoted sides against the newly promoted sides, right? Clark, what are you thinking?
My armband is currently on Mbeumo, but it's a 50-50 between Salah and Mbeumo for me. And I'll decide tomorrow closer to the deadline. I know that's very straight to the point and vague, but it's just that is the case.
my question is, why do you think Mbeumo is better than Salah?
I don't necessarily think he's better. There's a few things that put me off Salah, and it's the fact that they played 4 games in 2 weeks, and maybe I feel a bit burnt by Slot.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think they can press as intense as they can under Slot in this game.
Yeah.
Simply due to the volume of games they've got. I absolutely fucking detest Darwin Núñez with every fibre in my body, and if he's going to be subbed on, I don't want anything to do with Salah captaincy. I think Darwin Núñez is an absolute embarrassment as a footballer. I don't know how he's nicking a living playing for Liverpool. I don't understand how he's a footballer. I genuinely do not understand how that man gets any minutes. Gakpo injured, like, definitely weakens their attack. And Luis Diaz, maybe
bro,
Luis
Pep
Diaz
would have cooked, man. Pep would have cooked, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro.
I don't know. I watched Man City, and their defense is woeful. I watched the City Madrid game. I had a double screen, and they could have conceded about 7 to Madrid. So I think Man City is a good fixture for Salah. It's just a few things putting me off. Like I don't like Szoboszlai. I don't like Darwin Núñez. I don't like the fact Gakpo's not going to be playing, maybe, or is a doubt. And is Diaz going to start? Like
Diaz was
Jota,
rested for City, bro. Diaz was actually rested for City, I think. He played a lot of
yeah,
games as of recently. I
I will
think it's
probably
going to be
captain
Diaz,
Salah.
Jota, and Salah, and I don't think Darwin sniffs that pitch after that performance. I don't think he's sniffing a minute, bro.
You better
Because
not.
right now, Liverpool have already slipped twice in back-to-back game week, right? They can't afford to, because right now, if they slip, there's only 1 point gap between them and Arsenal.
Yeah,
That's it. That's bottle season right there. Bottle season right there.
Yeah, like there's definitely pressure on Liverpool to go pick up a result. Now, I do want to say about Mo Salah's data. Now, he has been unbelievable this season. Um, it's like a ridiculous amount of returns. He's looking to break all the Premier League GA records. Like it's actually ridiculous what we're seeing. It's a Ballon d'Or season for Mo Salah. It's really hard to bet against him. He actually has a very good record against Man City historically, and this isn't even a good Man City team. So it's interesting. But I have to say that his expected goal involvement data is down in the past 6 games. He's only averaging around 0.7 expected goal involvement, where he's usually averaging around 1. So could it be that there's just like we're not playing as great of football as a team right now at the moment? But even if we aren't, if you think about it, the triple captainers have been killing it. Like Salah has just been, even though his data is down, his conversion rate is up. So he's like compensating for like the team not playing well, which goes to show you how good of a player Salah is, man. So I just find it hard, even in my position ranked at 1 million, where I'm looking to climb. Even I don't want to go against Salah, and there isn't a slam dunk alternative in my perspective. So I'm just gonna captain Mo myself.
yeah, I'm probably going to captain Mo myself as well. To be fair, I think it's a good fixture. Like, I don't think it's a bad fixture for attackers. This is not Man City of last season, so
What's the second
certainly.
option then? What's
Bro,
the second
you
option?
were the one. Like, yo, Sark was the one that always told me, like, bro, we're gonna captain Salah against City. Like, we had this for like 5 weeks in
So
our heads, bro. City is not a good defense,
what's the
but
second best
they
option
have
then?
this Nico.
For me, it's Mbeumo.
Kanji?
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely Boomo, bro. It's no doubt. Like, realistically, like, if it wasn't for
For me, it's
Nico
Palmer.
Gonzalez
For me,
coming
I'll
in
say
for
it's Palmer second best option. Now, like people are
really.
yeah, it's Palmer, bro. I'm sorry. Like I've like just think about how many chances Liverpool had versus that fucking shit Villa defense, bro. My God, Jota missed, Darwin missed,
Yeah, but
Soboslai
there's
missed.
no.
How
Yeah,
many
but
misses did they have, bro? Like,
I know, but Chelsea are not a good like team at the moment, bro. Like
Yeah,
Jackson's not there. There's no link of play.
Palmer's not even top 3.
yeah, for me, Palmer is there, bro. For me, I'll go. It's just his form, man. Huh. Otherwise, you'd
It's
be
not
cooking
his
that shit
form.
defense, bro.
It's not his form at all. Chelsea, you shouldn't captain any Chelsea player, bro. Not at all.
We'll see, anyways. Moving on. To
It's not an
the
easy decision though. Like even Isak is like he's at home, but he has the more difficult fixture. It's like it's
playing a
actually a
top
mess,
defense,
bro.
man.
Like
It's just tough to go for Isak. He's playing a really top defense.
yeah,
But
he's a
that
mess.
game,
But you know,
yeah,
of like all the strikers in the league, apart from Chris Wood, he has the highest conversion rate. So if there's a chance that falls to him, he's the most likely striker to put in the back of the net, apart from Chris
that's
Wood.
true. That's true.
I just don't see I don't see the point in taking on Salah, who has a good fixture as an attacker, with an attacker who has a poor fixture for attackers. Like, if you're going to take Salah on, it needs to be like, oh yeah, Palmer's playing Southampton, Salah's playing Nottingham Forest, Salah's playing Arsenal, Isak's playing Ipswich or Leicester at home. Like,
Yeah,
Isak's playing Nottingham Forest. I don't see the point. I don't see the logic. But that's just my opinion.
like
Do you know
Salah
what?
is
Do you
such
know
an
what? The start.
odd.
You know that
Like,
reverse fixture, right? It was back and forth. You know that at Forest, it was really back and forth. Like it was an open game. So
It's not
if
going to
it's an
be.
yeah,
I don't. Why would they? They'd be stupid to make it a backwards and forth game away at St James's Park.
yeah,
yeah,
I
exactly.
think it will
But
be
it's at
bad as
St.
well.
James's Park, though. Like that's the advantage. Like Newcastle are at home. Isak must be very consistent at home. If I had researched how consistent he was, I'm sure it's probably like maybe like 13 goals in 15 games. I'm pretty sure it was like that. I think he had a record where he had like 12 goals in a row in consecutive home games. I'll have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's similar to that.
I'll give it like this, right? I'll put Salah one. I'll put Palmer second, and then I'll probably say, what else do I have? My team. Third. So I'm struggling to put Mbeumo there, bro. I'm sorry, like I'm struggling to put him there. Like I would have Wissa ahead of him. That's how bad it is. Like I'll probably say Isak. That's my top three.
What puts you off in Bumo?
Yeah,
I completely understand, but if that's the case, you
yeah.
shouldn't even have Palmer in the top 10.
The reason why I
Like,
have Palmer here is because like he's not playing. He's still getting the chances though. Stock. He's still getting the chances.
so
Like
isn't
he's
Boomer.
Mbimo. No, not when I'm watching him, bro. He's not getting any big chances. When I'm watching him. I swear to God, I did not see him get any big chance, bro.
Palmer had one chance in the last game, and it was a cutback, and he had to take it first time. It wasn't exactly a fucking glorious chance. So
You're right. You're right. Maybe I have a bias towards Palmer. Maybe I do, but yeah.
no, it's not that. It's the fact that we didn't have a shot on target the whole game.
Yeah,
You
it's just.
want to captain a player from a team that didn't have a single shot on target in a game
No, you're right. You're right.
against
What's
Brighton.
This week is
interesting.
tough, isn't it? This week is really tough, bro. Watkins is a good shout. I mean, he's playing Chelsea, bro.
So like just for backup in terms of
Sorry, I
Palmer
just
versus
saw
Bumo.
Watkins. I would have probably Watkins, man. I mean, Son is there. Watkins, Son.
Nah.
Yeah, like
The thing is, like Aston Villa have too many games in a short period of time. Like the minutes are not certain for him to play 90.
if you have Watkins, I'd consider it. I mean,
Bro,
I don't
I'm
know how much.
definitely considering it. Trust me, I'm definitely considering it, bro.
Yeah, like
He's the one that if I want to go differential, he's where I would be. Honestly, like Chelsea defense has been horrific, but I do want to say in terms of Palmer versus Bumo, Bumo in the last 3 games, his XGI is 0.6, 0.6, 1.2. Palmer is at 0.3, 0.7, 0.2. It's bad, bro. And like in these fixtures, Palmer destroyed Brighton. He destroyed West Ham earlier in the season. It's like they're just not playing well as a team, bro. Like forget Palmer cap. Like I'm just happy to own him.
fair enough, fair enough. I maybe
Honestly.
just ignore the Palmer cap. Just go Salah and just go Salah. Just I don't want to. I don't like anything else. Maybe Watkins. Fuck's sake! Like you're telling me to pick from shit to shit, and I'm not gonna say Mbimo. Like for me, it's bad enough owning Mbimo. Hell no, I'm captaining that fucker, bro. Like hell no, bro.
He's got
Yeah,
that
facts.
Brentford. What I like about Brentford and Boomer is he's a talisman. He's got so many GA this season, and they've absolutely battered promoted teams this season. So
Yeah, yeah. I think I
Except for
want to say
except for
just as
Southampton,
consistent.
they didn't batter every single team away though. Except for Southampton, that's the only team they battered outside of home. No one
they've
else they
not
battered. They have
they've
not.
not played away though yet, have they?
They have played Everton. They've played easy fixtures away. Yes.
They're not promoted teams. I said promoted teams.
Did he
Yeah,
play
they
Ipswich
won
away?
5-0. Like they
They
won
beat,
5-0 at
they beat
Southampton away.
Southampton
Yeah,
five
only
0
Southampton that they trashed though.
They
Away from
beat
home.
Leicester at home 4
But
4-1.
But that was at
Ipswich at
home. That
home
was not away
4-3.
though. That was at
I'm
home.
pretty sure they've got 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, or something. Like if that's not fucking
Yeah,
battering a defense, then I don't know what
But
is.
but at home, I'm
yeah,
talking about away from home though. They did batter them at home.
yeah.
They beat Southampton 5-0 away,
I did use a caveat there, except for Southampton.
but there's only 3 promoted teams,
I know,
so
but
that you can't caveat only 3 promoted teams. That doesn't make any sense.
anyways, look,
Yeah, they haven't played
look,
Leicester
look,
away and Ipswich away.
look. That's fine. They haven't played them away, right? Okay, obviously we'll see when they play away. But my thing is, if Mbimo is not playing up front, I just don't think he's a significant threat for big holes. And it's not just that; it's just that when they play at home, they're different beasts. He can still hold. If he was at home, maybe I would have reconsidered it. But I'm just not a fan. It is what it is, you know. Like so.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
thing is that's
But
changed
look,
it, right? Is like I think we would
people,
all have been.
yeah, but people can go there. But if you ask me, I'm not going there, so I can't recommend it. It's simple.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand. I understand. I
yeah,
understand. I understand.
yeah.
I think what's interesting that's changed the picture for me is the introduction of Nico Gonzalez. Because I think Stark, you can speak more to it because you watch the analysis of like match of the day. I don't really get that in Toronto, but I've just noticed like when he came into the team in his first game, I think it was in the Premier League against Newcastle, he bullied people off the ball in the midfield. Like he really protected them. I didn't watch them in the Champions League because Liverpool and Aston Villa were on at that time, so I watched that game. But I just feel like if he's in the midfield, it changes the way the City can play. That's the only reason I'm doubting Salah cap, honestly.
They had him in the midfield against Madrid, and they got battered. So I don't know.
Exactly.
How people can take a 1 game sample size is just beyond me.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of thing where City are at home, so they'll turn up and like think about Man City and Liverpool has been a rivalry game for the last 5 years, bro. Like I'm sure Pep is gonna go into this game and want to win. Like he's not just gonna freaking like they have nothing to play for at this point. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy, bro. Like it's so tempting to go against Mo, but every single thing you look at the alternative, it's not perfect, so forget it. Like Salah's been too consistent. Like forget
Listen,
it.
be my guest if you want to go and be more. The fixture is there. So be my guest. So
Yeah. Like I
especially guys,
really respect it if
especially
you
guys in
go
top
against.
10K, go for it.
Yeah, I really
Dango.
respect it if you go against it.
Yeah. So Gameweek 25 PFC. I'm going Dango. Oh, that's sorry. I went with
That's
Dango
last
last
week.
week.
That was last week.
Last week, sorry. Yeah. So I won 2 out of 3. It's not bad. Kanji, I think, used 1. I think Salah cap only.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
Sabazai got me 4 points, but that was it.
that doesn't count. That's no return.
I know.
Yeah. So moving on, I guess Dango one worked out for me. Shout out to Dango. Guardiola apparently keeps a clean sheet versus Newcastle, and he can't keep clean sheet versus Southampton and those shit teams. Fucking bum. Um, Tally. I'm still struggling. Uh, so yeah, Kanjin start cooking. Stark is running away with this shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
killing it, bro. He
he's
needs to
killing it,
chill,
bro.
fam.
Yeah. Next week I've got Mitoma, Kakpo, and Salah. So
Yeah, you can't
I
go
think
wrong.
yeah, Salah cap, bro. Salah cap. Kanji, Dango, and
Facts, bro.
Guardiola and Salah. Dango is
Yeah,
interesting.
so
Mm,
it's easier if like Stark explains his first because he gets first picks anyway.
yeah, go for it.
I picked Minte because I looked at Meerkat's analysis of positional weaknesses for teams throughout the season, and I saw that they concede a lot to the right wingers, and Minte plays right wing, and he's looking good, he's looking sharp. It's a good fixture. He's a differential. I picked him. Gordon flop because I think Forest is a difficult game. So if I'm ever going to target an attacker to flop or have a quiet game and be shut out, it's against Forest. And then Bumo's got my armband right now. It's a good fixture. He's on pens, blah, blah, blah. But I probably will captain Salah myself. But it's definitely a 50-50 decision for me.
Facts, bro. I thought I would be closer to Bumo Cat than you are, so interesting to hear your thoughts, of course. I'm on Dango for the punt. If he continues to be under 10%, he'll be my punt every single week. Like the fact that he's the striker, even Nielsen's out, is just ridiculous out of positioning. Bournemouth are a top 4 attack in this league, and he's their striker, but a mid in FPL. Enough said. He's 5.0. And then you have Vardiol. He's playing against Liverpool. I know it's at home, but come on, I'm gonna back my boys. Come on, Liverpool, go pick up the win, even though it's away. Let's win this league. And then Salah is the cap because he's the one that's gonna score. Come on, boys.
I think with Mitoma, it's just in form, isn't it? If he just got a beautiful goal versus Chelsea, I think he's gonna smash it again. Probably Southampton, easy fixture. And Gakpo is just a bum. Gakpo, Salah cap, boring, boring. Nothing
You,
else to say.
the funny thing is, you chose quite a sly flop because he might not play at all. So,
No, no, there was news. I knew you were gonna say that there was news that he is 50-50. So there is a chance he plays. So
yeah, okay.
yeah. No, literally,
And
FPL
to be
Foco
fair,
tweeted out.
like
FPL Foco tweeted out. I'm serious. If you guys don't see it, it's a
No,
close goal.
yeah,
I've seen it.
I
I've
saw.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But I will say that the touch from Matoma and the last goal that he scored was immaculate, bro. Like he is such a
Yeah.
class player. My God, bro, I would take him at Liverpool. He's really good.
Yeah. Kanji, you sent me a screenshot. It's just so poor, man. Like I don't know how. Like I tried to improve it. I don't know how it's so bad. How come
Yo,
it's
my
so
bad. I
bad?
sent it from my laptop.
So
I,
bad,
I did
bro.
it differently. Don't worry. I'll send you a better version next
Just
week.
take
But
it from your phone next time and send it to me. Yeah, that was really
yeah,
bad.
exactly,
Anyways,
bro. But you did a good
yeah,
job with it. So like this was my week to do well.
yeah.
I'm 20 points above my safety score at my rank of 1.35 million, up to 1 million basically. I didn't crack the 1 million mark, and I won't crack it this
Inshallah,
week
you will.
either.
Inshallah, you will next
Um,
week.
I won't, because everybody has AM active, and I won't have a
Oh
chip.
yeah,
So I'm
shit. Yeah.
definitely getting a red. So it's really about how big will the red arrow be. But looking at my team, I think Watkins changes the landscape of FPL. I think people that continue to ignore them are sleeping on how important this guy can be. With Duran out and Watkins getting 90 minutes in back-to-back games, that's huge. And he also is on the penalties, and we know what he can do last season. If you remember, he had more points than Holland without being on penalties because Douglas Luiz was on them. So with him out of the team, unless Tillemans is taking the pens, man, I am super high on Watkins as my differential. He's in for the rest of the season. Mateta will double. I won't even move off him because Watkins will have Southampton in that fixture. So I'll hope that Watkins can do what Chris Wood did for you guys, where he just picked up the same amount of points as my doublers. So yeah, I'm just going to look to keep Watkins and Isak as my striker force for the rest of the season. The same with Salah and Palmer for the most part, and Cliver as well. And I look at my midfield where I have Bumo and Rogers. Bumo is a perfect rotation spot to Anthony Gordon come the end of the season when Newcastle have, I think, Brentford, Leicester, a double game week, that sort of thing. So Bumo is just in there, eventually becomes Gordon. Not really worried about whatever his points are. Not too worried about him, but he's been so consistent for most people. If you kept him all the way from the season from then until now, and he's the type of player, come my game week 1 next season, I'll look to put Bumo in my game week 1 squad. But happy that I own him for now. Considering captaining him, but if I owned Dango, I would 100% captain him. So I don't own him, and I think that is where my biggest issue lies. Is Rogers is my weakest player in my team, obviously including Ndiaye as well, but. I don't really like any of the strikers apart from Cunha because I went early on Cunha earlier in the season and he paid me dividends. But is expensive, and I think I can only unlock money from my team if I sell Trent. And honestly, because I don't have my free hit in 34, it doesn't make sense to sell him. Like Trent is probably the best differential in the game. As people start to sell him, I'm happy they will. He has like Southampton at home in 28, Everton at home in 30. I'm forgetting in 29, by the way. And then he also has Leicester in 33 when other people will have Vardiel in that position, but I'll hope that Trent can get a goal or an assist and a clean sheet in that fixture and maybe even outscore them. So I'm happy to just keep Trent and then just move to Vardiel for the end of the season. But I look at Rogers as my weakest spot, and I want to get to a Bournemouth mid. I can go straight down to Dango, but because I already used my wall card, I just can't take that type of risk. It just doesn't make sense for me. So I have to get up to a Semenyo. Unfortunately, both Rogers and Semenyo went up 0.1, so I'm really stuck. And so what I did is I made my transfer. You probably can't even tell if you're looking at my team, and if you're following me, you still won't know it, but it's Pickford to Henderson. With Henderson, what I'm doing is I'm securing a double game week in 32, and he's supposed to potentially play in 34, which is the blank. It's not confirmed, but that helps me, gives me an additional doubler down the line where other people are going to wildcard to put somebody like him into their teams. Kepa is supposed to double in 33 potentially. If he doesn't double in 33, he'll at least play in 34. So I'll have security of fixtures. So I just bring an additional doubler in my team, and I'm also taking money out of my squad to put myself in a position to use my AM without hurting the points that I'm going to get from my team. So I think that's very important. But Rogers up to Semenyo will likely be my move in the future. So that's the way that my team looks. Captain's on Salah. What about you guys?
Looks good, man. Looks good. It looks good. I mean, it's good. Not what to say.
Thanks,
Um,
bro.
uh, moving on to Stalky Boy.
Fraudulent green arrow, to be honest. Keep getting fraudulent green arrows. So yeah, you can switch to my next week's team. I moved to Glasner. I've got no free transfers, so I need to get in. I need to get rid of Bruno because he's a bum. So, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. I really don't.
It's just one of those situations where I think your perfect opportunity for you to get rid of him was last week. I think stock because the doublers for Watkins. I was just so sure about Watkins getting something, man, because he's such a quality striker. To miss him out on double, it's just fucked, and I regret it somewhat. But my long term plan didn't enable me to go there. So yeah, I feel like last week was the time to move Bruno
Do
for
you
a
see
double or
why?
maybe.
Wait? Can I say this? Wait, this is a perfect opportunity. See, like this is one of the reasons I walk carded early. Like that exact thought Cayman has right there. His chip strategy doesn't allow him to get to Watkins. That's exactly why I went there.
I could have still gone there.
15 points on the field.
Now I
No,
would
I
have
know, I
gone
know, I
there,
know, but like that,
but
but that thought, right? Like that thought, I was like, you don't want to sell Isak to get to him. It's like that thought, it gave me 15 points on the field. But obviously, Wood delivered, a hat trick last week, a goal this week, so it's irrelevant, really. But yeah, like
yeah.
that's exactly why I went to Watkins.
But I still don't think the early World Cup helps you, bro. I know you can say it, but it doesn't help you. I don't think in the long run. Like I'm glad it worked out for the Everton game and the Villa game. I think somewhat worked out, but I just feel like it's gonna cancel out. I feel like come game week 34 because it's just so
33,
difficult to
yeah,
navigate it. Like you're gonna be
yeah,
good for this run, like from now on, because you're chilling with good fixtures. You optimize the doubles, and you're gonna fit in blanks going on. It's just that how much are you gonna suffer in 34? Just it all comes down
yeah.
to that.
We'll have to see when we get
Yeah,
there.
I
We
guess,
don't know.
that's true. Yeah, but for now, I think obviously you've done well with Everton and Watkins, and I knew Watkins was a sure hit. With Everton, I wasn't high.
100%.
I just
100%.
fuck,
But
bro.
you,
I could have gone
100%.
there, man. I could have gone there, but yeah. Stark. I think with Bruno, it's just fuck, bro. You just trapped with him, man.
So
You just
Bruno
trapped with him.
changes the FPL landscape because now
I
it's
would
like
play Robinson
Almaz out
ahead
of
of
the
him.
team.
I mean, fuck. It sounds so bad.
What? You pick who?
Yeah.
You pick who?
Robinson ahead of him. It's
Nah,
crazy, isn't
bro.
it? But bro, it's crazy.
Can't do that, brother.
You can't sell Bruno for a hit though. It just doesn't even feel right.
You wanna get back Foden? Why don't you just get Foden? Stock
Um,
for Bruno.
nah, because I want to get
Marmoush.
I want Mamouche next game week. The Spurs.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, team looks good other than fucking bomb Bruno. Moving
How
on.
would you enable getting Marmouche though? Like, how would you get the money?
I drop Bruno someone, and then I get more money. Like I've got money in the bank,
Mm.
and plus I've got Glasner. So
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
but you're basically taking a hit next week to do it though, right?
that's why I would just do it this week, and I'd probably get Matoma for Southampton, Minte for Southampton, Tell for Ipswich. Like I'm just looking at various options.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
shot.
So of those like differentials, like which is the one that like you like the most?
I don't know. That's why I've not made the decision yet. I really don't know. Waiting for press conferences, you know.
I don't like Minty
You
because
wouldn't
it's a rotation, isn't it? It's a rotation. It's a rotation risk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the truth.
you wouldn't consider Dango though in
No.
that spot.
You don't like Ruto? Oh, is he a striker? Actually, he might be a striker. My bad.
No, I don't want
No, I think
Ruto.
he's a mid. I actually think he's a mid actually.
Okay, don't want Ruto. Okay, because he's playing the 9 role, isn't it? As a mid, out of position striker, and they're playing well with him.
Is what I thought Wells was the 9.
Oh, actually, what was it?
Yeah, he is the 9.
So
Yeah,
Ruto's playing 10. Apologies, I think. Yeah.
He's just a rotation risk with JP. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
What about Bowen? Bowen's there. He's also on penalties now. Paqueta's out for a month.
Going Bruno to Bowen is just ridiculous. They're sideways. mid for mid.
Yeah. Moving on to my game week 25. It was a good week. Thanks to Mateta. And Chris Wood obviously keeping up with every single bloody strikers in the game, every single doublers. Obviously, you didn't manage to match Watkins, but that's a tough ask for a doubler to match, a singler to match a doubler, which is a elite striker. It's not like it's an NDA or a DCL for him to match. It was an elite striker, so I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, it was a really good week. 2K to 1K, good rank. Slot disappointment.
Massive, bro.
Yeah, man. Just double Arsenal defense. Shout out to double Arsenal defense. That's the differential right
what's the
now,
secret,
actually.
bro? How are you gonna win FPL? Tell us what's the
It's
way.
not me, bro. If Allah wills it, then I will, inshallah, bro.
No, but seriously, no, I'm serious, bro. Wallahi, bro, I've had good seasons. I've never been at this rank ever in my life, and like I want to see you actually try to win FPL. So I'm trying to think like,
Inshallah,
what is your
bro.
best way to do it?
Yeah.
Like,
Let's move on. I think that's it. I mean, what else? I mean, Clivert template 5 points. I think that's nothing else to say. I do feel like I should have sold Isak though, and that's probably hindsight, isn't it? Hindsight. Fuck, it's hindsight. I just knew
would you
Watkins
consider?
had. Sorry, go on.
Well, like because Holland's out, like he picked up a non-contact knee injury. We don't know how long he's out. Pep will
Yeah.
never give us real like advice in the press conference. I actually don't think he'll be straightforward. But Holland was on the bench, so I don't know if he's actually injured. But still, Marmoush is there, and like you can argue, Marmoush is like such a good shadow striker. He works well off Holland, but maybe with
I don't
with
think
Holland
I'll
not
go
in the team,
Murmush.
maybe he'll be the focal point.
I don't think I'll probably. I don't know if I'll
You
go
don't think he's
Murmush.
a you don't think he's a good upgrade from Chris Wood? I mean,
No, I think
maybe even Mateta as well because Mateta blanks.
no, I don't think I will. I'm not sure if I'll go Murmush. I might decide to not go Murmush. I might decide to just go Foden. Go back to my boy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love Foden as well.
The reason
But Cunha
why,
is there if you go off Mateta, right?
the reason why, because I don't like Mbeumo. So what Stark is having to do with Bruno Fernandes, I feel like that's what I'm having to deal with Mbemo. I know one is playing a
It's
CDM, the other one is
Cunha.
playing a wing, but
Bro, how can you
I don't like
compare?
him.
How can you compare the third highest scoring mid in the game to Bruno?
Okay, Stark, you can say that,
Facts,
but last
bro.
5 game weeks, what has he done other than score a penalty, bro?
Have you owned him for 5 game weeks?
I've owned him for 3 game weeks, last 3 game weeks.
Right, so what's he done in the last 3 game weeks for you?
He hasn't done anything, bro.
He's not got you a return, no?
No, bro.
No.
He's
I'm,
blanked
I,
3 times in a row.
I just think like with
Yeah.
Mbemo, like there is this stigma. Okay, he's so explosive because of the Southampton game, right? Like if you watch him play, like I'm big on Itis, bro. I'm not scared of him, bro. I like when he's playing up
But
front.
hey,
Like
man, you don't watch Brentford games. Don't
okay, I
watch
didn't
his
watch the last
games,
week
bro.
game, bro. And then what happened, bro? He didn't do fuck all, bro.
Yeah, but his XGI was good at the end of the game. Like it's
Bro, I
fine.
don't
Like
care about
0.6
XGI,
is
bro.
well above
Like,
average. Like
bro, look, I'll tell you what game he's gonna do well. Yeah, that freaking Villa game, he's gonna cook. Like that Villa game, he's gonna cook them, bro. He's gonna play up front, probably double striker with Wissa, and he's gonna cook him. Yeah, and then he plays. Who else does he play? Villa, Everton. I don't think he does anything versus Everton. He's gonna play wing back again. What
the
other
alternative
fixtures
to
they
him
play?
is like
And Bournemouth. Bournemouth, he might cook because he plays up front as well. But Bournemouth,
yeah.
that's away from home as well. Though. That's another thing. Like the only thing I see with I think he's a hold until Villa. After that, he's an easy sell for me. So I feel like if I want to go Foden, I'll have exactly enough money to move from Mbemo to Foden, and I just keep my front 3 as it is because they're delivering for me, right? And I just move from
Okay, so
Isak or Mateta to Cunha, like straight swap. You know what I mean?
okay. So after hearing that,
Yeah,
let me show you the other side. Okay,
yeah,
Bumo is a top 3 midfielder in the game. Sark
yeah,
said it well. He plays in 29. It's a luxury to sell someone like him when you have other players that will blank. I think for you, in order for you to win FPL, you have to nail every single decision from now to the end of the season. If you
yeah.
don't like Bumo, your best jump off point is Anthony Gordon in Game Week 30. Like that is the best
No,
jump
I'm
off
not
point.
jumping off Mbemo
It
now.
is.
I'm jumping off like when he plays Bournemouth, Newcastle, and those tough fixtures, bro. Like I'm not jumping off
Yeah.
now.
So he can go. You can go with Anthony Gordon. Like at that time, it's perfect.
No.
The
Like
best
with
move is
yeah, gone.
the best move is probably Mbumo to Foden in 29.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, literally. Because I have exactly enough money, Kanji. It's one transfer. And
I
I
wish
just
you could put, bro. If you could afford Foden alongside Anthony Gordon, because they'll double right in 32.
no, I will
I
have him.
think
I will
that would
have
be
him.
the
I
best.
won't have Palmer though. You have to understand. I won't have Palmer then. So where does Palmer to go to? Palmer to Gordon. Do you know what I
It
mean?
depends if you go to Holland or not, bro. Like you really got to
No,
think
why
about
would
that.
I need? Because I'm gonna have Mateta. I'm gonna have Isak. I'm gonna have Chris Wood, and I'm gonna have Mateta, Isak, and Cunha. Sorry.
Yeah,
There are so many good strikers, bro. Marmoush is a 60,
facts,
70
bro.
minutes guy. He was not on pens, was not on set pieces. Yes, he's good. But I'm sacrificing a talismanic asset for
Wait,
Marmoush.
just a quick correction. Mamouche is on set pieces.
Is he on set pieces? Shit, that's news to me.
He takes
Wow,
corners, free kicks.
wow,
I think he
that's
has the
really good,
most
bro.
GA in. I think he has the most GA in any league apart from
Wait, he
Salah.
takes them over Foden because when Foden plays, does he not take corners, stuff?
He takes in swinging on the left side of the pitch, so he right foot in swings.
Foden, okay.
His
Foden doesn't.
delivery, his delivery is insane.
It's just like stuck. I don't know who do I sacrifice from my front 3. Because if I saw Isak, I would run him back.
My plan is to sell Isak next game week probably, and then
Yeah.
buy him back in 31 on a wild card.
Yeah.
So I'll get
You should.
City
should do the
City
same.
versus Leicester in 30, and then Isak versus Leicester in 31.
You should do the same. If you lock in an early wildcard, selling Isak is very obvious, and you should do it this week.
You know what happens if I do that move, Kanji? If I do what Stark suggested. If I do that, then I'm committed to the strategy of Marmoush, Wood, and Cunha in game week 29, and I'm not taking over 2 strikers who are going to be essential and doubling in come game week 32. And Mateta has good fixtures 30.
So you can. I'll
rather do. I'll tell you right now. I mean, those who are listening, I'll give you the freaking secret right now, as you suggested. I would rather keep Mateta, sell Isak, right? Sell Isak to Cunha in 29, and I cover City with Foden. That way, I at least don't have to freaking take out 2 doublers, and I only take out 1, and I'm only doing one sideway move in Isak, and I buy him back in 31 when he plays Leicester.
It depends when your wild card.
My
Yeah,
wild
are
card is
you
late.
open
My
to an
wild card is
early?
35. That's my plan. Unless all of a sudden the biggest double game week we ever see in our lifetime is in 33, and I have to freaking bench boost, then everything changes. And there's no double in 36.
That's my point though. Like that game week 31 or even game week 30 wildcard to bench boost 33 to put you in a good position
I
where you
can
can
manage
just
it.
sell
I can bench
Isak.
boost in either week with 3 transfers. I might have to take 1 hit. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's fine. I'm
It's,
gonna.
I mean,
I'm gonna look to target the end of the season with a wild card. I'm gonna optimize the end of the season. I want to finish with a
If
bang.
you're targeting end of season to wildcard, then I don't think you should sell Isak.
No, but you have to understand, Kanji. You have to look at it like this. Who has a better fixture in 30? Mateta or Isak?
Isak, bro. Isak, man.
Isak is Brentford. Mateta has Southampton.
Isak is better. Isak is better than Mateta, bro. Like he is.
But that's not the question.
Like
It's a better
Isak.
fixture.
Okay, Mateta has a better fixture, bro. But
Okay,
Isak can do more in a worse fixture. That's the thing. Like I'm not
but
going against fucking Isak, bro. He's at home against Brentford. Brentford has no defense, bro. Like
the thing is, right?
it's
The
gonna be
thing is,
hard,
Kanji,
man.
I
Like,
can sell
oof.
Isak next week for Cunha 1 week early, and I have the same upside as what Stark is talking about for fucking what's his name, Marmoush. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
Okay, I mean,
all I can see is like in your
yeah,
strategy from like if you're not in free hit, right? You're not free hitting.
yeah.
Cunha should be somebody you should be considering a lot because he not only gives you goals and assists, he gives you 2 or 3 bonus points every single return. Like it's mad. Like the
Yeah.
FPL points, like they've really skewed to players like Cunha and Wood. When they return and they're consistent, it's hard to really outscore them, especially for the value at the price.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have both Chris Wood and Cunha for as long as I can until the double game week, probably. Like, just I'm gonna have to sell them
And
then.
every move is strategy based, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to wildcard late, I personally think free hit 29 is probably better, just given the new information we've got. Whereas if you
I agree.
free hit in 34, I think wildcard's better earlier. That's just my opinion based on the information we've currently got.
But
Fair
34
enough.
is it's such a banana peel. Like it really is, bro. Like 34 we don't know how big the banana peel is gonna be. But I'm like sure I'm only gonna play like 9 players. Like I'm
How
sure
many
I'm not
players
getting
do
to
I have
11.
that blank? Ahmad, who shouldn't have fucking got injured, but okay, Ahmad, Isak, Mateta, and Salah and Trent. I have 5 players blanking. I'll have 4 transfers
Because
come game week,
Reeves
or
doesn't
3 or 4
even
transfers
play.
come
Does he?
game week. He plays.
Does Reeves start?
He
Is
starts.
Starts?
Mateta
Okay.
blanking in 34? I thought he played Arsenal.
It's
Mateta,
not confirmed. It's not
it's not
confirmed.
confirmed yet. It's not
Because he's
confirmed
still
yet.
in the cup, right? He's still in the cup.
Yeah. So if they get knocked out of the FA Cup, he won't blank.
I just think the current landscape I find it quite annoying, to be honest, because at this point you're an engaged manager, so everything's quite long term planning wise.
Yeah.
And you can't even make a move that coincides with a long term plan because we don't know who doubles in 33. I just find it like it's just pointless, bro. I just want to find out who doubles and who blanks, and then I can make a proper decision.
Because
And
would you consider a wild card 34? Because that way, what you can
No,
do
no,
is you
no,
could
no.
free hit 29, attack
No,
32, and then bench boost 33.
no chance, bro. No chance, bro.
No.
No chance, bro. Impossible, bro. Because no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
So if you value free hit 34, then you have to
Not even. I
sacrifice
don't even value
Newcastle
free hit
and
34. It's just
Palace
that
for
the
now.
situation that I'm in, I'm free hitting in a blank because I'm forced to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So if you're valuing free hit 34, right, then you have to devalue Palace and Newcastle.
I am
You
not
have to
devaluing
increase
them
the
though
value
because
on.
I'm not devaluing them because I have had Palace the last fucking 5 weeks, bro, and I'm still gonna have them until game week 29. The
I
only week I
know.
won't have Palace is game week 30 if I sell Mateta. But even then, I'm not selling Mateta. I'm selling Isak. And even in 30, I can get back Isak by selling Chris Wood if I wanted to.
it doesn't make sense to sell Isak if you're not wildcarding in 31, 32.
I agree. I'd rather take like one less player maybe if you have to in 29. Honestly,
That's a good point.
because he's
You know what? I
doubling.
agree
He's
with that
doubling.
point. It's just that the Cunha has such a good fixtures and he's my captain, so that's why I'm
That,
looking to do a sideways move.
that's
Like
why
has to come in.
wildcard
Like he has to come
31
in, bro.
makes sense, because you target this short fixture runs for assets without worrying about your transfers.
Mhm.
You can target some good fixtures coming up, and then when it
Bro,
comes to
yeah.
30 and Isak plays Leicester, you then get him for Leicester. Like, you don't have to hold him through a blank. You navigate 29 much easier because you can actually use your free transfers and target good fixtures, and then in 32
I
and
might sell
33
Mateta, bro. Yeah,
your
I
team will
might
be
even sell
optimal.
Mateta. Yeah, just sell
Yeah,
Mateta for
if
Cunha.
you basically if you continue exactly if you continue down the I want a wild card late, you have to do Mateta to Cunha. It makes the most sense.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll probably do that. It's just
The
fun.
question is like, do you make the next move of selling Wood back to Mateta? That's the question for the double.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a long time away left. You know, I'll think about it when the time comes.
But
Right?
those transfers, that's important, bro, because you can. That's two transfers. There's if you're
Hmm.
not high on Cunha, you might just be better off taking less fixtures in
No,
29.
Cunha is my
Honestly,
captain in 29.
okay, yeah, then he's non-negotiable.
Yeah, it's not negotiable, bro. People are buying Haaland, bro. Like, I have to match that shit, bro. So yeah, that's it. Should we wrap it up? I'll take any questions from the chat. So, we've been here for a while.
Of course, yeah, of course. See if there's anything in the chat. Damn, interesting, very interesting. Both you and Stark are in a weird spot. Damn.
Weird spot thanks to fucking fixture announcement out of nowhere giving us bollocks, bro. It's just jarring, bro. All the plans they're just out the window. It's a waste of time, man. It's just a waste of time. There's no it's just bullshit. Just bullshit, bro.
Man. Facts, bro. Let's see what the chat's saying though, man. I can't see anything, so it's on you, bro.
For the chat, to be honest, there's not much to be honest in the chat. Yeah.
When I checked 3 minutes ago, there was nothing, so we should just wrap it up.
Yeah, so let's just wrap it up.
Oh,
All right.
perfect. All right,
Sounds good.
perfect. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining episode 18 of the FPL Roundtable podcast. I'm sure most of you guys have already clicked out by now, but if you haven't, you're a real one. Thank you so much for always showing your support. Just don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube channel, follow the journey. We hopefully will be able to all get green arrows together.
Peace out.